What is going on, guys? I decided to do a little project. It's actually something I ordered a little while ago. This beauty. 12-inch subwoofer, Cerwin Vega, goes in the place of the spare tire. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. I love sound. My car actually comes with a Shaker 500 system, which is pretty good. Shaker 1000 is a little bit better. It's got subs in the trunk, which I don't have, so I kind of figured I'll put some in myself. And I love the idea of it being hidden. I did do some research. There's not a whole bunch of reviews out, at least not when I ordered it, not at that time. So I'm gonna throw it in my car, get everything wired up, and just kind of let you guys come through the experience. But of course, came out to the car, tried to open the doors, the freaking battery's dead. So, ordered a new battery, gonna throw that in, and then I'll be right back. Try this again. So, got the new battery in it, pulled it outside. It's a beautiful day. I just want to work outside. And with the Samurai in there, and we'll get to the Samurai later. It's kind of just going to stay where it's at for the moment. But it's fine. It's fine. So I'm looking at this, and I think I really like the location of the battery, because what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to hide everything. That's the end goal, is I want to pop the hood, pop the trunk, people look at the car and not know that there's any alterations. The whole car is pretty clean, and I want to keep it that way, I think. At least that's the goal for right now. I definitely am not trying to go sleeper at all, just clean. I want everything to be clean. People see the car and they're just like, man, that thing is sweet, super clean. That's the goal. But I think what I can do is take that cable, because our main power cable is coming off here. Maybe I can follow these lines somewhere. There also was a plug back here that I might be able to use that plug to just kind of run a wire back off through here and then through the dash. And then I figure if I'm able to do that, I can bring it inside here, underneath this, probably either under this or under the carpet, back and around and up through the trunk. I mean, obviously I'm gonna kind of learn as I go. I'm not entirely certain how this is all gonna lay out. Probably get this out of here. Hey, Samurai's good for something. Just kidding. All right, so there's the trunk. I never got a spare tire with the car, so makes that part easy. Won't need any of this. Pull that all out. I was looking at this a little while ago. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to cut this little piece out, which is fine. And I think if I follow this wherever these wires are going, that's probably gonna be my permanent solution. There's also another set over here. So one of the two should work pretty well. I'm pretty excited, I gotta be honest. Let's get this off. Yeah, I'll get that off when I'm not boring you to death. But I think for right now, that's the plan. I'm gonna go ahead, get some of these panels off, get some of the carpet out. I'll probably remove the battery, which I just put in. And then I'm gonna see if I can get the back seats removed. I think it's gonna be the best plan. So yeah, I'm gonna do all that, and then I'll get back with you guys and show you where we're at. So we have a plan. This is a little bit more involved than I would like. However, after kind of tearing things apart, I'm happier with it. So we did end up having to pull the inside wheel cover. Come down here and look. Once we did that, which is the part I really didn't want to get into, it really opened up our plan, at least the beginning of our plan. So you get the main wiring harness here. There's actually a little access port right here to the engine. So we're going to feed our main power wire through there, take the power wire, feed it through here, which if you come over here, let me see that. Where's that flashlight? Oh, okay. If you come and look, let's see if you guys can see this. Right there. That's actually that main wiring harness entrance right there, which is perfect because then the carpet's right there, so we can take it literally from there onto the carpet and run it along just like I was saying before, all the way to the back. The other thing that I want to do, so we're going to pull this tray out, and I'm actually going to take the wire and tuck it up through here, so it basically runs right tight behind the battery, and again everything's kind of hidden because that's how I want it to look. So when we get that going, this one just try something else. There it goes. Okay, I like winning. So, just pull this out of the way, hopefully. Yep, look at that. Oh, drag that across my paint, that's cool. I'm super awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be great. Because then I can take this and just tuck this like this so it can come out and around. My only real concern is when you do these, for those of you that have never done it, there's an inline fuse you have to put up here. It's about 18 inches off the battery, which I'm still waiting for, which is taking forever to get here. So if I put it down here, the access to it's going to be difficult. So I'm not sure if I need to like loop it here and have the fuse sitting right here, which again kind of goes against the whole hide everything plan. But that's something I'm going to figure out, how exactly I'm going to conceal that. I suppose I could bury it down in here in this little cavity, and then essentially if the fuse ever does pop, I would just have to pull the battery, pull that tray, which is not really that much work to do. And actually I think that's what I'll do. I guess my only other concern is being this close to the manifold. Could be heat issues, but I really doubt that too. I mean, you got these other wires that are already there and they don't seem to have a problem. All right, well, I think we're gonna get back to work. We'll check back in with you in a minute. Well, day 2. Everything did not go smoothly. It's okay, we're gonna win. It definitely, so we're not quite done. It's taken longer than I thought it would, but not necessarily harder than I thought it would be. It's pretty straightforward, just kind of time intensive. And maybe just because we're being so careful, we really want to tuck the wires. We want it to look nice when we're done with it. The whole idea is with, you know, the mats down and everything, you don't know that anything has been changed. One of the things, so we did, like we said, we got the battery back in it, which I don't think I need to show anybody. We did run everything up here, so this is all clean. The wire's underneath here right now, under the seats like we said we were gonna do. We've got our controller ran, which actually is in the middle console. I want to show you that. So if I want to adjust the bass or the phase or anything like that, I actually have this little remote right here. which just tucks in the middle console, which actually I like. I think it's convenient. But some of the things that we had issues with, so we had to do, we're basically getting our input for our bass from my back speakers. I don't have the RCA hookups because this is a factory radio. The Shaker 500 just didn't come with it. So we ran that. To be honest, we got everything working, but the bass kind of sucked. So I did a bunch of research last night, and it turned out we actually had the polarity different on both speakers that we were pulling the signal from, which I learned a little trick how you can figure out polarity. We just took a 9-volt battery and you literally hook it up to the two sides. If the speaker pushes up, you have the correct polarity. If it pulls down, you have reverse polarity, and you just switch positive and negative, and that's how you figure that out. So it was pretty cool. We figured that out. What we have to do now is we have to finish soldering the speaker wires to the actual harness for the subwoofer. The other thing that we actually screwed up is this blue wire on our harness. I didn't know what that was. It's the auto turn on wire. So we've got to find a wire that basically toggles on with the radio or the key, which is a 12-volt signal. And then when that wire shuts off, I'm assuming that's what's going to shut off the subwoofer. And I'll see how all that works. But for right now, it's coming along. We should be done probably in the next few hours, and I'm getting more and more excited. I was not excited yesterday, but then once we figured out that those things were out of phase, I think it's going to be good. So we'll get back to work, and we'll see you guys in a minute. We are finally done-ish. So, check it out. Some of the issues that we ran into from start to finish was pretty much just finding a 12-volt wire that came on and stayed on with the key. You wire that into this blue wire right here. We had to run this big cable, our big power cable, which is an 8-gauge cable, from the battery to the back. You gotta have a fuse just off the battery, which is a 20 amp. This here is our other, the remote wire, that blue wire, we actually turned red. This is our controller wire that's in the center console that I showed you guys before. We tried to wrap this up as neatly as we can. We had a little access. I don't mind a little extra, to be honest with you. I think, just like I think I mentioned before, if anything ever changes, I want to be able to move things, shuffle things, and I don't like cutting it super, super tight. So I'm okay with that. It sounds pretty good. We definitely have to dial it in just a touch. I would absolutely play it. My only thing is, I've watched a bunch of subwoofer videos, and people always do the same thing. They turn it on, crank it up, and the camera speaker cannot, or camera microphone cannot handle the bass, so you don't hear anything. Everything is lost. But because it was the Shaker 500 system, the car had decent bass to begin with. So I am fully aware that it's pretty much doubled now with how much low tones I get out. I'm pretty happy about it. It was a lot of work to be, I don't know, to be completely honest. And granted, I want to live with it for a couple weeks. I love the space saving, but the last setup that I did was a traditional like box, you know, with an amplifier. For the price and the time that this ended up, I had to put it into this, I almost think that you could run like a custom setup inside this whole thing with like 210s and a really powerful amp, still be tucked away and hidden, and probably do better than this thing. I wouldn't say I would regret buying it, but I'm not sure I would buy it twice. And again, you know, a little bit of a grain of salt with that comment, because I just put it in. I've played with it a little bit. We had it out of phase, like I said. It did give some pretty good bass sound. So maybe as it kind of works in and the speaker softens, maybe I'll be really happy with it. So far, I love the fact that it's going to be clean. Once we put the trunk liner in, it's going to disappear. The whole car is going to look stock. We do still have to put the seat and stuff in. That's why I said we're basically done. We got to get the back seat in, the console. Pulled all that back out for the remote wire, which, man, that was a mistake. For anybody that does it in this car, there's actually, which I feel pretty stupid, there's a fuse panel that's on the passenger side. I can show you real quick. I do have the cover back on, but basically it's right down here, right in this area here. And all I did was put a spade connector in one of the open fuses and then just ran that for my remote wire. All in all, super, super time intensive. I don't know, if you have never done it before, you may pull your hair out. I have done this before and I almost pulled my hair out. So I don't know, but I'm just stoked. The Mustang's coming along. Any other projects that we come up with this? Also, the Samurai has got all kinds of issues. So I might record that in the future. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.